Welcome back. Of course, we're moving into our second conversation for this morning. We are joined by artist Minita Concha, who is opening a new art exhibition at the Image Factory called Gloria.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So Minita, let's find out more about you. The work that you have here is absolutely stunning. And I already told Kevin, try not to be too distracted as we have the conversation.
It's going to be hard.
Okay.
But obviously, you said you started off drawing, I would imagine, from Standard 2?
Yes, I started drawing from Standard 2, and this was because my mom, she got me into an art class, but it wasn't an art class whereby they taught you exactly how to draw a face or form.
Okay.
But the teacher, she was like, you know, I'll give you some shells and I'll give you some chalk paper. Express yourself. Or one day she'll just bring like black glue with some black thing in it, and then she'll teach us how to do how you call it, stained glass. So that's the reason why I got this this inspiration here, because I was remembering the time when I was at the House of Culture where Minita Gordon used to live. And I just remember that, and I said, you know what, it would be cool for me to incorporate that time of my life in this one here that I did. Because it's supposed to be like a sort of like a stained glass. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ingenious. This is gorgeous. And
Thank you.
In I don't know how it translates on television, but sitting here, standing in front of it, it completely draws you in. It has a lot of feeling and energy in it. Mm-hmm. This is absolutely gorgeous. Can I ask, why Gloria? What is the significance of the name of the exhibit?
For me, I'm all about woman empowerment. I'm all about motivating another woman. I absolutely do not believe in bringing down another woman while she's starting to come up. Mm-hmm. So I think that for me, you don't call another woman she, her, lady. You call her Gloria. Because in Spanish that means glory. Oh. You know, and for me that signifies a woman that is very self-confident. She's strong, she's brilliant, she's resilient, she's very ambitious, she's powerful, and I wanted to bring all of these things into my art, because I don't just like drawing faces. For me, I like drawing the human body, I like the human anatomy, and I especially like to draw movement because that signifies life. I don't know if it's subconsciously, because I studied human anatomy for like 2 semesters in school, but it's something that I really love to do, or it's because I love to watch people dancing and I can't dance to save my life.
I noticed that.
But you create the dancing moves we see here and the one behind you.
Mm-hmm. There are 2 things that I noticed in these 3 samples that you brought.
Okay.
The first is that in all of them there is an Afro influence in it. All of them have either natural hair or Afro features.
Yes.
The second thing is that there's a lot of freedom, because a lot of it's open body forms. One is celebrating that, when another is very open, and this one is opened up. Is that part of the message you're trying to convey?
Yes. All right. I'll touch the first one about the hair. You know, when I was in Standard 6, I first started to get into this thing, about they gave us this thing, and I said, who is your culture, and what ethnicity are you from? And so that was when I went home and I asked my mom, what are you? And she's like, oh, you're Creole. So we grew up in a Creole home. Mm-hmm. And in Standard 6, my teacher told me, then I started to appreciate my hair. My hair was longer than this and curlier and much more puffier. And the teacher just stood in front of the class, in front of everybody, and told me, you look like a witch. So I want other young girls to know that having curly hair it's okay. It's okay for, it's okay. Like, I wanted to celebrate that. And the reason I have this as a white curly hair, because I'm remembering my dad's mother. She started to have white hair from a young age. And so I always remember her as this woman with just white curly hair. And my cousins, they also have, a lot of us have curly hair, and I wanted to celebrate that, I want to celebrate that having natural hair is okay. I wanted to celebrate that, Yeah, and you asked one more thing, that they're open and free.
Yeah.
Yes, I also believe in being free and expressing yourself and having freedom. Like, I always want to be, free from probably, like, if you're in a domestic violence situation, if someone is being mean to you, if you just want to get financial security as a woman, like all the things that I have been through for the past probably 10 or 15 years, I put all of that into this. And also, women inspire me, because I've talked to women who was like, you know what, I went through school and I had to raise 4 or 6 of my brothers and sisters. I had 3 kids, and I managed to get my bachelor's degree. All of that inspires me about other women.
Yeah. Wow. There's so much to unpack here. But I don't want to miss the point. You start drawing in Standard 2, you realize you have a means of expressing yourself that is probably more attractive than others, because we all start drawing. But when do you make the shift into establishing yourself as an artist? Not just somebody who has a hobby and is good at it, but really and truly making work that is an expression of yourself and also sharing it with the public.
Okay, so, from Standard 2, I was just like doodling on and off, and I just had typing sheet and HB pencils. But until when I graduated from nursing school, that's when I was like, yes, now I have money to spend. Now I have
now
money.
You can buy paint and canvas.
Buy paint and canvas, and I could buy all the materials that I need. So, because all the while going through nursing school, I said, I don't want to do nursing anymore. I want to be an artist. And my mom said, okay, Minita, an artist needs money, so you better finish school first. And so I always wanted to do it, but it was just the finance for the quality art materials, because as an artist, if I sell something to you and it doesn't last like past 3 or 4 years, and probably I send it to you like about $250, then you're going to be like a little bit disheartened, they sell me unquality stuff, or poor quality stuff. So I just bought a whole lot of materials. I said, you know what, I'm going to do this, because
That's a jump, though.
Yes.
That's like diving in head first into a very uncertain, and I know many women artists will say as well, challenging for women as well, environment. Yes. And what was there an impetus that made you say, this is the time is now, I'm not waiting any longer, I'm gonna pursue my art? Especially with a nursing degree, that's a high demand job as well.
Yes, oh my goodness. So it was all the materials. I actually bought myself a huge drafting table, and that cost, my goodness, that hurt me, that the duty cost as much as the table. So I bought all of these things for my Christmas gift, and I said, you know what, I'm going to do this, because nursing is not easy. Nursing, you see people die, sometimes you get from your co-workers, like you get that little, like everywhere you'll get that little disagreements, and sometimes you come home and you just want, like me, I'm very emotional, so I just want to come home and I cry. But I said, instead I just divert to my workstation and I start drawing. And so I said, I will make a living out of this. I would promote myself with this, and I see between now and 4 to 5 years, I'm just going to push, I'm going to work hard, and I'm going to see where this will take me. And I noticed since I decided to do this solo show, I noticed that my technique and everything just got different. I think it's because of the drive. I think it's because
the freedom,
the motivation, and the inspiration, probably more the inspiration that drove me to do this.
Can I ask about, the shading on it is superb. How long does a piece like this one take you? How many hours?
All right, I can't really say the amount of hours, but it took me about 3 to 4 days to do. Because, I would wake up 4 o'clock in the morning, before I go to work, and then I'll do a little bit, and then I come back home.
Yeah.
I go to work, I work 12 hours, and then I come back home, probably sleep and wake up 3 the next morning. But for me, it's very challenging because I've never gotten an art class on how to do this, and I enjoy the challenge. At the same time, I don't like it. Like, I'll walk away, I want to tear it up, and I just simply just drink coffee and I come back and do it again.
Coffee.
Yes.
How do you know when you're finished with it?
How do I know?
Yeah.
It's just a feeling, you know, like a satisfaction, because for this, I didn't have a general idea what I really wanted. Then it was all finished, and then I started to think back about my experience at the House of Culture.
The stained glass.
And then I said, you know what?
Oh, that
this
came
is going
after.
to finish. Yes. I said, this will be the finishing thing.
Are the models real, or are they part of your exhale as an artist?
They're real. Like, sometimes I'll get people to pose for me, or I'll just reflect back to my human anatomy book, and then I'll just create a pose, or I just do a combination. Probably I find someone to stoop down like this, but their arms aren't like this. So
They're not stationary the whole while. Yeah.
So I could actually, maybe I should say it. No, I won't say it. But you know, some of these pieces are actually like built up upon mistakes, like built up upon things that I couldn't quite bring myself to finish. Like, I was having trouble with the arm to match this one. So I said, you know what? It's going to be a design. It's going to be a one-sided dress. So, and I find it actually came out good. It feels good, and I'm happy with the way how they come out.
And the inspiration for that one is lovely.
This
I
one?
love that one. That's a dance form.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank
What was the
you.
inspiration for that one?
This one was because of when we grew up, there was a lot of planting trees. It's actually planting, I call it fufu. There was a lot of planting trees behind my grandma's house.
Where did you grow up?
Sandhill.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm that village girl, so like that much of the village vibe coming to this. So a lot of planting trees grew up behind my grandma's house, and she made fufu and said, you know what, I just love the idea of having, like, trying to put in more of a village vibes into it, and put in my experience from growing up in Sandhill into it. That's why I enjoy making each and every one of these pieces.
What's your favorite type of material to use?
Me, I love pencils because I could be more detailed. It's more versatile, and paper. These are archival papers that I use. It's long. I could tell you it's not easy because your hand hurts you, and it takes much more longer than if you're painting.
Especially to get the depth of the color, I would imagine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So your exhibit, how many pieces?
I'm going to have 21, but they're going to be big like this.
Okay.
But 17, 18, I'm not really that good at maths, but I still know how to count money. So I'm going to have about 18 of these huge ones and 3 other small ones, and stuff from my previous work, about 15 or 20, I think, about my previous work. And also I felt I had to put in installation. These are skirts that I designed. There are 4 of them that are going to be on display, because I grew up like that. My grandma, she taught every one of us to sew. All of us know to sew up our hemlines. And so I love sewing. I actually sewed my 6th form graduation dress the night before graduation. So I said, you know what, I just have to have in skirts. I just have to have these in. And so it's just an art show coupled with art installations.
What has been the reaction so far since you've put these initial pieces out as a part of the flyer and advertising for the show?
It has been, I have gotten good reception. And thank you for enjoying them and liking to see, like for them. It has
You look
been
like
very
you've gotten
good.
a bit emotional when I asked that question. Was it
Because-
overwhelming?
No, because it was really hard coming up to this, having a solo show. Like the beginning was really hard, and I was supposed to have it initially at another gallery, but they moved me from out of the small gallery, and they wanted to restrict me to a small conference room. And then I second guess. I said, no, I don't think so. And then when they saw this one, they said, you know what, we're going to censor you. We have to censor you. And nothing felt more heartbreaking than that, than having someone telling you, we might have to censor you. And I said, but almost everything is like this. I mean, like almost half is like this. And so that didn't feel good to me. And I could understand now why artists, they get so emotional, and they get so somewhat a little bit angry. I think angry is a strong word. Yeah. But I get why they feel that way, because I felt it, and it's not a nice
I've heard at least 2 or 3 female artists I can think of telling me this very same story of being censored in their work because perhaps it's a bit more bold than people are used to.
Yeah.
How did you move beyond, and especially coming out for your first show? So someone tells you, oh, that might be a bit too risque to be a public show. But you didn't pull it off. You decided to push forward with more.
Yes.
How did you manage to do that?
So the thing is that right after that, Gilvano Swayze, he called me. I don't know what made him call me, but he called me and said, what happened to you? I said, oh, something happened to me, and followed by 10 other bad words. He said,
That's good.
Yeah, we all know.
Followed by 10 bad words. He said, come to the Image Factory. Me and Yasser, we got you. We'll help you. And so that's why I thank Yasser. I thank having that Image Factory, because they don't censor you. They don't restrict you. You could do anything you want. You could paint the walls black. You could paint the roof in black. You could put people to lay on the floor. You could do whatever. Like, you're so free right there. And I'm so happy that Yasser has that place.
Yeah. I want to, because I think that a big plug has to go there for the Image Factory and the space that it creates for persons like yourselves and artists to express themselves. But what does it say about the institutions and the openness of Belize to look at themselves? Because a lot of you is in these paintings, but your message is so beautiful. Where are we as a country? Where's the art, the institution of art, and the institutions that should be supporting art, in your opinion?
I don't know, because I don't know how to answer this question, honestly, because I the initial place was supposed to be was a Belizean institution, but I don't think the heads had fault in this. It was just the person that was there with me directly that was supposed to be organizing it, and then there was a big miscommunication, and they had to put a Peruvian artist in the gallery, and then they wanted to put me in the conference room.
In the conference room.
Yeah, but it turns out that they didn't communicate that I was going to use the space for the period of time for Women's Month. So that will happen. But institution-wise, I'm not sure, because I did participate in Women in Art a couple times. And I see that I think everything and everybody have room to make improvement. Everybody and everything, even myself. But I think Women in Art, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
So the exhibit. Tell us about the opening night, and when people can go. Will the pieces be on sale? Let's get all the details.
Okay, so the opening night is on Friday the 13th. I know it's so. I hope people remember it that way. Gilvano actually suggested it Friday the 13th, 7 o'clock. It's free, everybody. It's free. It's 100% free. You don't have to pay. People have been asking if you have to pay for tickets. No, it's absolutely free. you go in and then you just watch the pieces. I'll have some village wine there, cashew, cashew, blackberry, and sorrel. I love sorrel wine, and we'll have those there, and then probably we'll have some like cheese and crackers, a little bit, but don't go there expecting to fill your belly.
Yeah.
It's just like to keep you entertained, and the viewing will be there, and there will be some pieces on sale. This one is already sold. The one is already
that's
taken.
my favorite.
Yes.
I noticed most of them are recent, in March.
Yes.
So that means, does this mean that most of your other pieces before this are already gone, or it's just that these are the ones that you fell in love with too?
The thing is that this, I started to, the pressure was on. I started to create them from since I think January, and then the pressure was on to, create more. The more, for me, the more the merrier. Yeah. When it comes to good things,
Yeah.
the more.
And you
the
said you got
merrier.
your drawing board at Christmas, so
Yes.
there you go. That's the window of time. Your
Yes.
work is beautiful, and we really hope that people go out
Please.
to experience it. The show's called Gloria, and I
yes.
love that it's to represent the glory of women, Kevin.
Yes.
And it starts at
7 o'clock.
7 p.m.
7 p.m. in the
Friday the
evening.
13th.
Friday the 13th at the
Yes.
Image Factory in Belize City. Thank you so much for coming in and showing
Gorgeous.
your work to us and telling us a bit more about yourself as an artist. And
Thank you.
best of luck.
Tgoing to very much.
All right, we're going to go ahead now and take a break. And when we come back, we'll be talking to the Special Olympics Belize about their upcoming fun run. So stay tuned.